Well, it's a big week for you.
Yes.
The time trial, you've won how many time trials this year?
5 or 6.
Yeah. So I would assume that the time trial at the championships is a big motivation for you.
Yeah, because I like the flatter course as well, and obviously this year I think in total.
There's a couple of railway bridges, but you know.
Yeah, I think in total it had something like 100 metres of climbing, so over 41k. That's flat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean last year comparing it to that had a couple of rises in it as well, and the wind played quite a part in that last year. Obviously I haven't seen this year's course. Yeah, I'm going up.
I have. It's wide roads.
Okay.
As I say, there's a couple of railway bridges. A little bit draggy, but I don't know what the motor racing circuit's like.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's a bit bergy, but.
Okay, so yeah, I mean the wide roads and everything that helps in all situations. Like,
yeah, I mean the corners. Most of the corners are quick.
Yeah, fully closed roads as well. You can make full use of all of that as well. Yeah, looking at the start list though, it's a bit stacked. A few more people here than last year, so.
Well, when you look at the start list, are there any actual normal fast guys besides yourself who do the RTTC race? Because I didn't see many guys in there that.
I'm pretty sure Michael Gill's on there.
Yeah.
He's quick. We've been quite closely matched.
He was third at the 10 champs last year.
Yeah, we've been closely matched for a couple of years in the we've got an evening 10 that we do near where I live, and when he's based in Nottingham as well.
Yeah.
I'm actually really upset because he's got the course record now. So. And I'll have to take that back at some point, hopefully. But yeah, apart from that, I think when I was going through it, there were 20 continental or higher level riders.
Right.
So yeah, it's going to be a tough field. So.
Because it's interesting. There's not a lot of guys in there that are the really fast guys in the RTTC races, which is unusual because it is it's not a sporting course. This is a proper time trial course.
Yeah, and now it's one of the big issues that people had to get around before, obviously, was the UCI regs and the setup for the bike and everything.
Yes.
But now, because obviously for taller people, it's stepped. So the taller you are, the more allowance you get. It's made it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So I think that's what put some people off in previous years, because they've had to completely change their whole setup just to do one event in the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just so happens that every single UK pro wants to do it this year. So
last year you were in the hot seat. What was that like, being on the podium? Sort of everyone looking at you.
Yeah. So I think in 2021 I was 13th, so I was seeded about midway through the field.
Yeah.
So that obviously helps. Then obviously you've got the fast guys at the end, but I think I was in the hot seat for longer than what I was expecting. So yeah, to come away with 7th last year, it was only really the last 7 or 8 guys that were actually contending for the top spots and knocked me out of the hot seat. So yeah,
it's nice to be in the mix, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because you look at some of the names that were there and at the pointy end of the field.
Well, look at some of the guys who were behind you.
Yeah, so I beat Dowsett, but credit to him, he did have COVID a couple of weeks before, so that's understandable. And Ethan Vernon went the wrong way through the end of lap 1, so he got a DQ. But yeah, end of the day, 7th.
So here you are in a 200k race 3 days before. I guess you're going to, as you just said to me, you're going to be taking it a little bit easy. Not going too deep on this one.
Don't want to completely ruin yourself. Like, if there's any silly risks that you have to take, it's just not worth it a week before nationals.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a much longer race than what the UK is used to anyway. I mean,
it's
on
the longest race of the year.
Yeah, I mean, on this circuit, it is. Like, it's a long race still. Yes, don't get me wrong, but
you can sit in the wheels and you can.
Yeah, it won't be much over 4 hours, maybe 4:20, 4:25.
Yeah.
So the lap record on this is 51.5k an hour.
Right.
So.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that was so Damo's got it. I think it was 2021 he got that record.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be a quick one.
And final, with the week ahead, what have you got planned? Time trial? Are you doing any other event?
I'm doing the road race as well. It's national champs. It's the biggest one of the year, so I didn't want to miss out on that. It would be tough for me because I don't necessarily like the hillier courses, but see what happens.
It's a case of saving the legs to the end.
Yeah,
on a race like that.
See what
If
happens.
they let you.
Yeah.
Good luck today.
Cheers.